We can try and edit it.
Hey Z, Ben and Mike
Z.
here. How you doing?
We're responding.
We're responding. Right off the bat, real quick, that video that I didn't mean to actually post it. The one of Mike talking. He was talking about George Soros.
George Soros.
That
Whatever.
what that was just Mike was started talking about George Soros. I thought it was interesting. I turned the camera on. I recorded it. I wanted to upload it just so I could get the video off my phone. We didn't mean for that to be part of the conversation. Maybe it's part of the conversation later or something, but for what we were talking about, I actually didn't mean for that to be part of the conversation.
I had nothing.
I was just, we were just kind of pontificating.
I was.
So no real need.
George Soros' philosophy.
No real need to respond.
Which is
to that.
quite cool, but
Yeah. I thought it was a cool thing.
It is.
And we recorded it, and it was an interesting, but not part of the conversation we were having. So my apologies.
Nothing to do with homelessness or that.
We just got done watching your video on
mass murder.
On mass murder. Yeah, mass murderers. And I think we're, pretty much in agreement. I mean, in terms of the overall sentiment, so
why they happen, like why they
we're talking
I don't know how you put it. The fact that these people are kind of cast out of society or whatever.
Well, it's the societal. So
I forget exactly how Z put it.
Yeah.
It was good. He said it right. You said it right.
Trying to paraphrase you. Circumstances are what create the propensity. I think the word you used is circumstances is what create the psychosis.
Yeah, and the whole
that is
disparity and the fact that you've got
disparity.
I think that's what he was getting. We could go back and watch that again.
But but I think we got the gist of what you were saying, and we agree with you. Yeah, your circumstances are what creates.
I definitely agree that
the propensity to be a mass murderer.
I definitely agree that people who are on the bottom rung, kind of left behind in society, are those people who end up picking up a gun and going in and just shooting everybody. And income disparity, racism, all of this feeds into that, leads them to that.
Is it? I think we disagreed with your term psychosis, but I suspect that you were just using that as a place filler.
Sure, yeah.
We didn't view it as psychosis necessarily.
Not necessarily mentally ill.
You don't have to be mentally ill to kill people. You don't have to be psychotic to kill people.
No.
Certainly you can be, of course, but you don't. It's not. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
Right. Right. That's what yeah. And then there was the whole guns.
What did he say? What did you say at the end? It was.
I'm not sure where you were getting it with the guns. I think the fact that America has a lot of guns absolutely leads to the mass murders and the huge.
Really?
Oh, I believe that. Yeah.
You think so? If you think if we had less guns,
fewer guns, would lead to less murders. Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Why do you
like Night Falls Day?
That's an interesting. I think we're on good.
You disagree? Yeah.
I think we've kind of gotten ourselves onto good ground here for a good conversation. So, I mean,
just the fact that there's like a gun per person or however many there are. There's a gazillion, and look at Germany or Sweden or Canada or Australia, Japan, Korea. They don't have the mass murders. They don't have the murder rate like we have. Like it's.
You think it's because of? I mean, let's imagine.
What's the one thing different?
Imagine a scenario where all of a sudden, like
universal health care.
We could just magically make all the guns in the United States just disappear. No more guns anymore.
Oh.
Nobody has any more guns.
Well, sure, the murder rate would crash.
Well, obviously, gun deaths are going to go down.
Yeah, right. Right.
But. And obviously there would be a period, and I think I would argue a short period where, you would see overall deaths go down drastically. I suspect there would be a correction, and suddenly you would see knife deaths start to go up, and you would see bombings start to go up, and you would see other stuff start to go up, and it would correct itself, and we would wind up about where we're at right now.
Yeah, I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's not, and I base this argument on the fact that it's not.
That happened. That does.
It's
happen.
not the gun.
England's
It's not the
experiencing
gun
this.
that's doing it. It's the mentality behind it.
And absolutely, that is the cause. I'm not disagreeing with that. That is the cause. Get rid of that. A more harmonious society where you didn't feel like you had to go into the elementary school and shoot everybody. But hard to kill that many kids with a knife. Yeah, you can do it. It just doesn't happen.
I mean,
It just doesn't happen.
if there's something that recent history has taught us, it's that, I mean, if you want to kill, if you really want to be effective at killing, you don't use a gun. You use fertilizer or an airplane. I mean, if you're the kind of person that wants to go in and kill a bunch of kids at an elementary school, I don't think the fact that
You gotta get fertilizer in an airplane. I mean, it's way easier to just go, like, these people aren't smart. They're not.
again,
They're just like, hey, I can go to the store and get an AK-47 and I can accomplish my aim here.
if you have the type of mentality,
I'm gonna get fertilizer. They don't overthink it.
if you're whatever circumstances that you have had in life have led you to the point where you think that killing a bunch of children at a school is a good idea, I don't think that not having access to a gun is going to prevent you from doing that.
That's the argument on the gun side. I acknowledge it.
I mean,
It doesn't happen. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't happen in the rest of the world. I think the prevalence of guns absolutely contributes to the...
Australia. You look at Australia. I was reading a report on Australia the other day.
Yeah, they're not killing anybody.
They are.
No.
Yes, homicides are up. All the stuff that you would expect when you get rid of guns happen. Like knife attacks, way through the roof.
I would bet you money that Australia has a murder rate at least 1/5. 1/5 of America's. At least.
That would be a good.
If not a
to look at.
tenth.
But I did read a news report the other day.
But I would bet you money that they're at least 1/5 of America's murder rate.
It was talking about Australia, and
then you just like, well,
they did
it's
say
the culture, it's different there.
They did say that they're, like, ever since they got rid of guns, like it didn't turn into the perfect utopia they were hoping for. Like, just all kinds of other crimes are through the roof.
They got all sorts of problems, sure.
But
this is a conversation about gun ownership.
Yeah,
whether we should have lots of guns, maybe we should have more guns. I think the more weapons you got, the more deadly the weapon, the more you're going to see dead people. Let's give them bazookas, rocket launchers, missiles. Let's just throw it open, machine guns. You'll see a murder rate. Like, hey, that's what I think. The more you got, the higher the murder rate. The more crazies will commit a lot. Yeah, get them back to bats, knives. Yeah, it'll be lower, but it'll still be shitty. And
well, let's stop there. We're gonna.
Let's stop there.
I'm gonna upload this video. Have we segued on from our homelessness? I don't know. I feel like we kind of got disjointed there when I accidentally posted that George Soros video. I feel like we kind of lost the thread of our conversation. So I don't know. Are we trying to transition and kind of go a different way, or are we still focused in on what we were talking about before?
Want to comment on the billionaires.
And we do, yeah. We both have things to say about
billionaires, and a more equal society.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And let's gut the billionaires. I'm all for it.
All right, let's stop right there, and we're going to post another video and talk about that. And we'll see what your response is and kind of where you want to go with this. All right.
Okay.
Talk to you in a minute.